So yeah, Hot D, it was super good. Amazing battle there. Again, the chess pieces were all set. Performances are awesome.
In the previous episode, they kind of like set up there's this two houses who hated each other forever. And this is like a known thing in it's like the Brackens and the Blackwoods, I think they're called. They're basically like two houses who just hate each other forever, and they're using this circumstance to just carry out their blood feud, basically. And this starts the war just like because they would have hated each other anyway, but this is an excuse for them to just hash it out. And so a lot of the episode is Rhaenyra not really realizing the war has already started and wanting to de-escalate the war, but when she should have been setting herself up to, play out the war. While Kristen Cole, he's smart enough to know that we got to get this going along, and he's marching along and taking castles and stuff like that. And so then when you get to the most recent episode, that's when everything kind of comes to a head. And also King Aegon is feeling more and more left out of the loop. Like he's king, but like even his mom is like putting him down. It's like, this is why you have advisors. You're not very smart. You need to listen to the wisdom of your all of your advisors. And so he feels more and more diminished. So when things are coming to a head, they're trying to take this small castle that will cut Rhaenyra's castle off from the mainland. He decides to like butt into this battle, and it kind of screws everything up. And also like the battle itself with the dragons, you really see why everyone really didn't want to start this war to begin with, because they're nuclear bombs. They just fuck everything up. Because that was some of the criticisms, like why isn't everybody like why is everybody being wishy-washy? Why is everybody like really like trying to de-escalate? And it's like, it's because this is awful.
Yeah, war is to be avoided, by sane leaders anyway. Most of the leaders are sane. Some of them are stupid. Some of them are inexperienced. But there's nobody here that's just like a madman, except for maybe Daemon, actually.
Yeah, even him, he has his thing. And Daemon was doing his own thing through this whole thing. He took Castle Harrenhal, who they just wanted to align with them anyway. And then he's been kind of having like strange dreams in Harrenhal these past two episodes. So he's been kind of...
He's got this like deep dread and guilt going on.
And it's mostly been Kristen Cole. He's an interesting character because even when like the king starts flying into battle and he didn't expect it, and he's like, oh shit, he uses it to his advantage. Like, your king has joined the battle. Like he uses it to rile the troops up. So that was really fun. I mean, just like everything is so good.
I know that at the beginning of the season, some people are like, it's not quite season one, or these different people. But have people kind of turned around on it by now and realized that they're like going someplace interesting?
Yeah, I think this episode was rated like the best episode of the series, probably behind the one where King Viserys in the previous season does his final plea to his family. So this is a very highly rated episode. People liked it, but I don't know if it's got the ratings that it used to have, but I'm enjoying it so much, and I think the way they pulled it off in this episode, the battle, and it's a battle that means something. It's not like with Game of Thrones the last couple seasons where they had like the Battle of the Bastards, and it just didn't like sit right with me. It didn't feel like it was that organic. It just felt like spectacle for spectacle's sake.
Yeah, they were just kind of like moving stuff forward. I like when everything's headed someplace. Yeah.
And like even when they send like Rhaenys, the older woman with the dragon, to this battle, and I don't think they didn't expect it to be an ambush, but then their side didn't expect King Aegon to like butt into it, so it just the battle just had so much tension, and it all made sense because Aegon was trying to prove himself, and Rhaenys didn't expect that this would be her like last battle. Even like her decisions during the battle, where she's like, you could tell like when she starts like strapping herself into the dragon, she's like, I'm in this like till the end. Like I know I'm like probably going to die, but I got to do this last stand. it's like these little micro decisions in the episode itself, like all just
so true. And Aemond keeps getting more and more interesting. They keep adding layers to his character.
Well, yeah, because when Kristen Cole's trying to find the king and he has his like sword out, it's like, is he gonna like try to mercy kill the king? And then he like puts it back in his sheath and he's like, oh.
Well, because he I guess it's not made explicit by the show, but it would seem that he intentionally caused King Aegon's death. What I assume is his death. We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
I assume so, because that would really shake things up.
And they set it up too that Aemond and Kristen Cole have been kind of like conspiring together to strategize this war and leaving Aegon out. And I love Aemond's dragon, that big old dragon, and how it's like mossy and like it's lying down on the forest floor, and then when it starts moving, it's just like so old and creaky, and oh, it's great.
Yeah, they really they understand and believe in their own world that they've created, and
yes, they
understand everything that's going on in it.
It's a breath of fresh air.
And there were times where what's her name? Is it Rhaenys? The queen there.
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra, of course. It's like Cletus's kids. Like there's too many of them.
Yeah, there's too many kids named Aegon. And then I was playing Elden Ring, which I have somewhere back there. And George R.R. Martin named all the characters like Godric and Godfrey and Godwin. And I'm like, you motherfucker, you did it again.
Confusing. I mean, it makes perfect sense from that era. If you try to read the Bible, like who begot who and begot who, it reads a lot like that. You have stories with Elisha and Elijah, But anyway, when she was talking to her son about Aegon the Conqueror and the Song of Ice and Fire and the uniting of all the kingdoms, I was a little like struggling a little bit with her motivation before she gave that speech, where I was like, is she really just feels entitled to the throne because her father named her and she got like attached to the idea? Or like, does she actually want to rule? Like, at the end of the day, like if you're going to rule, like it's because you have a vision for the kingdom, right? And so I felt like I needed to hear her say something like that. Like I'm fulfilling my ancestry's quest, and I'm the person to carry it out. I was named too. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
I enjoy every episode.
And even like the scene where she like in the previous episode where she like gets smuggled into. It's a little contrived that she gets smuggled into King's Landing to talk to Alicent, but I think that was a really good scene of them kind of hashing it out. And
the performances were great.
The performances are great, and Alicent's that actress is great too.
Very Shakespearean.
Yes, very much so. And then she does have kind of like the Hank Schrader moment where she's like, it's like you didn't realize this war already started.
Yeah,
but
right,
it is happening. Even if there is a misunderstanding about who was named heir, it doesn't matter. Like it was happening. It's too late. So wonderful stuff. Can't wait to see more.
What would you have me do, Mother?
Do simply what is needed of you. Nothing.
Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.